Hey guys, it's Beth, and today I'm back with some quick little one-off projects that I made using some of the scraps that I had left from my Happy Fall pad that I've been working on from CraftSmith. And this is part of two collaborations. Again, one collaboration is with Leah over at Ode to Paper, and it's called Fall Paper Pads Unite. She has another hot buy pad. Hers is Hearth and Home, I think, from CraftSmith. And then I have the Happy Fall pad from CraftSmith. But we just wanted to work on a fall pad together and see what kind of different projects we could come up with. So you guys are also welcome to join in this collaboration. The hashtag for that one is hashtag Fall Paper Pads Unite. Leah's contact information for tagging her on social media, as well as the hashtag information, will be in the description box below. And then I'm also having the Happy Fall pad collaboration, BC Crafts Happy Fall. So if you have this pad and are working along with me or would like to work along with me, I would love that. And you can share your pictures, videos, and just use the hashtag BC Crafts Happy Fall, and then be sure to tag me where you can. So again, information for those will be down below, but I am working through this pad and having a lot of fun with it. I am pretty much done. I don't have any full sheets left. I didn't have any full sheets left even when I did these. But I just kind of have like some random one-off projects. The first one is just a simple pencil holder, and you guys have seen me make these before. And I got my template originally from Simple and Sincere blog. I will include a link to that below. But basically, it's just a 12 by 1 7/8 inch strip of paper, like cardstock or pattern paper. And then I score from whatever's going to be my bottom or folded end at 4 and 4 3/8 inches. And that's what gives you the flat part here. That's the bottom of your pencil box. I cut my hole here for the pencils using an oval die. Before I had the oval die, I think I used a circle die, before that a circle punch. So whatever you have, that can create an opening for your pencils to slide through will work. And then I've glued whatever the top, like right above where my hole is cut, I've glued that down to the back of my pencil holder, and that's kind of what creates the structure of the box. Double-sided paper works great for this because then you have a pattern here as well as a pattern here and a pattern on the back. This is only single-sided paper, so I ended up adding an extra strip right kind of behind my pencils just because I wanted to help the pencils stand out. Because the whole reason I made this was because I found these cute little woodland pencils at Dollar Tree over the summer, so I grabbed a few packs of them because all of the fall pads that I've gotten at Michael's the last few years kind of have that woodland animal theme. So I was hoping I could use the pencils with any of those, at least one, if not any of the pads. Now the colors didn't go great with this particular pad, other than like the peachy color, and then the brown of the bear matches this brown paper. So I just kind of chose my brown polka dot paper just because it was a neutral background and would stand out kind of help the pencils stand out. So when I do pencil packs, I normally do 4 pencils or 3 pencils and an eraser. I wish I could have found some erasers that match these because I think they would have been really cute, but I haven't seen any of the woodland animal erasers at Dollar Tree. So I just have a cute little fox sticker. He kind of matches the fox, the colors, and the fox and the deer up here. So I just went with a sticker down here at the bottom. And then I do have it in I think that's a Wilton pretzel bag. I will link those below. But it's just like a 2-inch wide bag, and it's open at the top. I just fold it over, add a scrap of cardstock, and then I decorate with the oval that I punch out of here. That's what I decorate with. Sometimes I may add a sticker if I have something that goes with it. But basically I add my cardstock on and I staple it, and then my oval covers my staples. So I try to keep packaging simple. If you're trying to sell these, don't add a lot to them because they're a smaller dollar item. You're not going to get your money back if you over embellish or put too much into them. So that was the first little project I did. Next, I did 2 little 3-inch Post-it note pads in a very simple pad just because of the paper that I had left. And I've made a template for myself, but I've had this template forever and I really don't know where it came from. But it's a really simple template for the holder. Basically you have a 3 1/4 inch by 7 inch piece of cardstock or paper, and then you score at 3/4 and 3 3/4, and that gives you your spine. So very simple. There's no closure, it's just you open like a book. I had these cut aparts left from the pad that say Dream Big, and they're like pretty shiny gold, and so I knew I wanted to use those on a pad just because I kind of like to keep my Post-it pads like fun, inspirational, or funny. Like sometimes I'll do like a whimsical saying on there. And so I decided I wanted to use those on a pad, so that's what I chose. That's how I chose my paper. So I had scraps of this striped paper with a gold in it, and then just kind of added some other kind of yellowish, orangish paper in a little pointed manner. And then I have a little bitty thin scrap of the peach polka dot up here. So again, keeping it very simple, but still very pretty. And then I had another piece of that paper that I was able to basically cut in half, and it gave me 2 of the little mini Post-it note holders. So these guys are always so cute. And this particular template I got from Karen McNall, who is Inspired by Graham, here on YouTube, and I will link her channel below. I will find the video of this actually and link that below for you. But again, these are very simple, and unfortunately, the only little mini Post-its I had were the ones from Dollar Tree, so I don't love the colors. You know, I usually try and coordinate the colors a little bit with the paper, but all I had were bright colors, so kind of had to use what I had. But I just used, like I said, I had a scrap of this that I almost could cut in half, and it was almost the perfect size for both of these. And then I did add a little tiny strip of Velcro as my closure. To embellish, I just have a piece of gold foil tape, and then I have a circle that I punched out of the blue. It's like a tone-on-tone blue polka dot paper, kind of very subtle. And then I wanted a sticker or some kind of embellishment on here that was gold-ish, you know, since that was kind of what was in the paper and that's the tape I was using. So I wanted something gold, kind of trendy, or I knew in my scrap stash I didn't have any sayings that would fit on there. But I ended up going to my planner sticker stash because there's I think it was a Happy Planner sticker pack that I had bought recently from Hobby Lobby. I had found it on clearance, and it had like a lot of gold and black and marble, kind of very trendy stickers in it. So I pulled a couple from there. This little is like just a kind of a crystallized heart. And then this one just says, I have some big plans. So I thought those were cute little embellishments for the top. And then the last project I did was kind of an afterthought, but I had a fairly good size piece of this brown floral paper left, and I loved this paper, and I wanted to use it on something else where it would kind of stand out, not just a card. And so I was kind of going through my stash of things that, you know, I could alter or upcycle, and I ran across, and I'm going to apologize now for the glare, but I ran across these notebooks in my stash. They came from the Dollar Tree, and sometime in the past years when I found them, and I snagged a handful of them because I loved the size. I thought they were great. And so I realized that, you know, I had this paper would actually fit all the way around that size notebook. So I basically kind of measured and guessed at what size sheet I would need to go all the way around my notebook, and then cut it down to be about the height of the cover, and then basically glued the paper onto the front of the cover, and then took my bone folder and burnished here on the spine just to kind of create my creases for the spine, but I did not put any glue on my paper or the spine. I wanted it to be able to kind of move as the notebook opens. And then again, kind of kept folding it, burnishing and folding, so I got a crease here on the other side of the spine, and then glued the back down. and then trimmed up what was hanging over. So a very simple design. And then I had another one of these owls left that I used on my, like the simple envelope album that I did, that I showed you guys last time. I had another one of those, so I put him on the front because he was kind of like the perfect size for this notebook. And then added a little cut apart that says blessings. And I'm not gonna, because this is the only one I have, I'm not gonna include it in my craft show that's coming up this weekend, but I hope to make some more and include them in like my shows that are at the beginning of November, and kind of treat them as gratitude journals, like include a pencil. And then I thought about going through here and just kind of stamping every so often, either like a pretty image or some kind of motivational saying or a blessings related type word, just something, and then kind of, you know, sell it as a gratitude journal that people can. November, everybody loves to do the 30 days of thankfulness or whatever, so, you know, that would be a great time that they could use this, things like that. So like I said, I hope to make some more of those, but I'm not going to have them done for this weekend, but hopefully for next month's shows I will. So those were my fun projects. They're all very quick. And like I said, I will include the links that I have to any of the templates that I found in the description box below. Now, several of you have asked me about how I price things for my craft show, especially the things that I make from scraps. And I'm gonna kind of go off on a little tangent here and say that I don't think it matters whether you made something out of scraps or you took a full sheet of paper and made it. You would have made it the same way, and you would have used the same amount of materials and supplies and time. It just so happens that when you're using scraps, you're just using up what's, you know, trying to use up what you had left over instead of cutting into something new. So I don't think the fact that something is made from scraps should really affect your price at all. And the people who are buying it have no idea that you used a scrap instead of cutting into a whole sheet of paper and mass producing 12 of these or whatever. So if you're selling things like this that you're making when you're using up a pad, I wouldn't let the fact that you use scraps on it to really affect the price. And then I'll tell you guys what I charge for stuff like this, and I want to preface that too, saying that prices vary by whatever market you're in, and you have to price what your market will allow. So over the years, I've kind of been all over the place in pricing on some of these things, and I have finally found kind of the happy place for the price that allows them to sell the most. And these items, they're not big dollar items. You're not going to get a whole lot out of them, which is why I always tell you don't put a whole lot into them, because they're all going to be like smaller dollar type items. So the pencil packs, for example, I usually price them at $2 a piece or 2 for $3. And, you know, I usually use Dollar Tree pencils or packs that I've gotten on clearance somewhere, so I don't really invest a whole lot in the pencils. And then the holder is very simple. Other than the bag, I don't really invest a lot in the packaging either. And then same way with the Post-it pads, I try not to over embellish. I try to buy the Post-it pads in bulk when I can, because that's really the biggest part of the price of these. So, you know, I'm trying to cut the cost there, and I sell these little 3-inch ones. I usually sell for about $2.50, and if I have a pen with them, I'll charge a little more, like I can bump it up to $3. The bigger Post-it notes that I have, I can charge more. So whenever, like, I have a box of Post-it notepads or notepads, and they all kind of vary in price by what size they are. But the little 3-inch ones are usually about $2.50, unless they have something extra with them. These little guys are usually $1.50 or 2 for $2. And again, this is just one of those things I can't justify charging a whole lot more for, just because it's, you know, a really tiny Post-it notepad, and again, I'm not putting a whole lot into them. So that's what I charge for those little guys. Now this journal, I don't know yet. I need to think about what I would charge for that as I make some more, but that's what I would charge for these. So again, my word of advice is don't let the fact that you've used scraps to make something for your craft show, or made something to sell, affect the price that you're charging, because you use the same amount of time, the same amount of materials. You're just being economical with your supplies instead of sticking them back into your stash. So that's my soapbox for today. But if you guys have any questions on anything, please let me know. Hopefully I've given you some ideas for these. All make great gifts, make craft fair items, make good craft fair items as well. So hopefully you guys got some ideas that you can use your paper for. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because Lord knows I have so many more pads to use and lots more ideas on how to use up that paper in your stash. If you guys have any questions, let me know. If you're following along in one of the collaborations, please be sure to share your videos, your photos, whatever, and use the hashtags. Tag me and Leah, depending on which one you're doing. But I thank you guys so much for your time today. I should be back at the beginning of next week with some more little projects that I've made from the scraps with this pad. But until then, I hope you're having a crafty week.